Welcome to the Fling Show tonight, Monday night as usual. We are here and excited to talk about our weekend. We have so much for you tonight. David, how you doing tonight?
Hey, great. I'm doing really, really good. It's kind of muggy tonight.
Outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's still cool. That's true. I just thought you were just talking about this weekend. I was like, are you kidding me?
No,
this weekend?
no,
I
it was perfect.
Debbie Downer.
We went to the Empowered Women's Disc Golf Clinic and checked that out. It was one of the coolest events I've been to since I started playing disc golf. Just to see that kind of thing happen, and it was really, really cool to watch. And I was honored to just be a spectator and watch it all go down. And I felt really cool not having to, jump in or, try to, teach, because there were so many great teachers and they all had it covered.
Down.
Yeah, they had it covered, and we were lucky to have some ladies from Austin come and join us, and some pros, some top players, and it's really, really cool. And luckily, we're going to get to talk to one of them tonight, and looking forward to that. I had this thing. Yeah, let's see. I don't see. Oh, you got it. You need to let Ryan in. I don't want to ramble on about it, but I had this thing happen. I haven't even told Chris yet, involving the pumpkin from our ace race, from our Halloween thing. Okay, so I told you that pumpkin was basically a big piece of bread, right? Okay, so the raccoons were eating it and the squirrels, and so I moved it to the backyard, and then my old blind black lab discovered it. And so she was eating it. And so I put it all the way in the back, and she managed to get back there. So I said, okay, well now, and this thing is huge.
Right.
To get rid of it, to strike it and throw it away, it's going to take some time. So I put it over the fence in the back. And the kids were swimming, and she had figured out a way to nose her way out and to get to this pumpkin so she can. It's basically paper mache is what it is. It's a giant paper mache.
Cracker.
Yeah. So she nosed her way out. It was probably like 1:30 in the morning before I realized it, and they all came in from swimming, and I'm like, "Where's Tori?" And we don't know. And she's blind, and she can barely walk. She's the sweetest dog ever. And nobody knew, and so I went back there. The gate was locked and latched, but she had figured out a way to get back there to that pumpkin, and she was gone. And she, so we went out looking for her at 1:30 in the morning, couldn't find her, and I didn't tell my wife, and I just said, let her sleep, and she would just worry about it. There's nothing we could do. It was raining, and so just so you know, behind our house is a freaking forest. I mean, it's a jungle. You cannot get through it. So anyway, I got up early in the morning, and after my wife woke me up and said, "Where's Tori?" and I said, "Okay." She got back there to get the pumpkin. So anyway, so I went looking for her, and you have to understand the vastness of this forest. I mean,
I've been back there,
I walked left, which is north. I walked south. I walked back, heading back east. And then finally, and this is over the period of, half the morning, just kind of coming back and taking breaks, using my GPS. And finally I get back to there's this perimeter, which is the river where the runoff is from all the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And that's where I walk. I take these long walks, and it's a good mile away. And I got to this point where I finally broke out of the forest, and I go, okay, well, I can go this way or I can go that way. And so I said, well, I'm just going to go this way. So I walked all the way back, and lo and behold, there's Tori. And I found her. And, of all the places that, so it was kind of like a miracle, So it got me thinking about miracles, and I just wanted to throw this out because it's been on my mind. It's made me feel kind of light and heavy all at once. It's like, miracles happen all the time, and we just don't notice them, or we don't pay attention to them, or we don't really honor it as that. I mean, in India, You know, they live by miracles. I mean, they believe stronger than we do. And since we don't believe, they don't happen. But I'm telling you, when I saw her walking across there, I felt that miracle kind of thing. It's like I was led to that spot. Anyway, that's my story.
You stressed me out. I mean, I was like going, I love this dog. The dog is the sweetest thing. She has always been very kind to me every time I go over there. And you just stressed me out. My goodness gracious. Thank God that had a happy ending.
She survived. Sorry about the long
Thank you for
story.
miracles. Yes, thank you. But we'll move on with the show because we had quite a few other miracles, especially this weekend. Incredible. It was amazing. But first, I'd also like to say something that was pretty amazing for the fling team is that we got 2 new members of our team. And I can't be more proud and more happy for both. Christopher Cox, who's now also going to be doing some of our behind-the-scenes work with our filming and editing, helping Matt out because he has his hands full. So that just increased that team. And then we also have our own another pro from Austin, Texas. We've reached out. We're trying to expand your information and knowledge and have Chrissy Fountain as our new team member. Welcome, Chrissy. Thank you so much for joining the team. What an incredible weekend we had this weekend. And I know right now you also have an incredible guest that you have right there from the Austin, Texas area. But welcome to the show and thank you for joining the team. And what's going on there in Austin, Texas?
Yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm so excited. I can't wait to bring on some of these local Austin disc golfers who are making waves in the disc golf community and giving them a platform to share what they're doing and how they're spreading disc golf in our community. I'm so excited. And tonight's my first time to get to do an interview, and I get to kick it off with one heck of a special guest. This is my fellow Team Groundbound member, Ryan Hampton, who 2 Saturdays ago ran an amazing event called the Veterans for Vets that benefited veterans in need in our community. So welcome to the show, Ryan. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to chat with you a little bit and pick your brain about the event.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm super stoked to be a part of this. I've been following what you guys have been doing now for a while. So just to be able to have this platform to talk about some of the things that we've got going on is really awesome. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So before we jump right into talking about your event, tell me a little bit about your background, how long you've been playing, how you got involved in disc golf, and, basically to where you're at right now.
Sure. So I actually started, like a lot of people, when I was a little bit younger in my teens. It was a way living up in the Belton Temple area for my brother and I to get outside and do some things whenever he would come home from the Marine Corps. So started out with a couple of DX Innova Cobras from Academy and just kind of grew from there. And when he left again, I stopped playing as much as I did. I moved around a little bit. And then about almost 5 years ago now, really decided that I was going to start doing it as a way to, stay healthy, get outdoors, get back into doing something that was a really fun hobby. And it's really just kind of grown from there. My wife and I met and started playing disc golf, very, very shortly as we got together. It's been something that's been a part of us throughout our entire lives. I actually proposed on a disc golf course because we're those kind of people. But really have started to become competitive and trying to raise my rating as much as I can. But most importantly, growing the sport and, really trying to shine a positive light on the community that we have here in the Austin area.
That's awesome. Yeah, us disc golfers are crazy. Me and my husband got married on a disc golf course, so I understand that for sure. That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about the Veterans for Vets tournament and, kind of like the events that led into that falling into your hands.
Sure. So last year, heading into the end of 2019, I say last year, heading into the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, Doug Bierkes and Dynamic Discs came up with this Veterans for Vets idea, where they were basically offering dirt cheap players packs as a way to raise money as a fundraiser for local veterans. So a lot of people went with VFWs. A lot of people like ourselves went with nonprofit veterans charities. But it really turned out to be an astounding event for them the first season that they did it. And it looks like we're going to continue to have many years of this. But it's a way for not just veterans. I am not a veteran, though I come from a veteran family. But it's a way for those of us in the disc golf community to give back to those that have given so much for us. This is actually my second annual. I ran one last year. By most counts, it looks like we were probably top 5 last year for highest earning in the country.
Wow.
And so, it was really just a great way to bring the Austin area and, the Flying Goombas and all of the different disc golf clubs and organizations in the area really came together. So it was such a great success last year. We couldn't let another year go by and not do it. So we actually moved from Wells Branch to Cat Hollow this year, which was a big change for us, but we had a great turnout, and it turned out to be, one of those things that's just going to continue driving us to do better for our community.
Yeah, that's great. So that was one of my questions was, I did know that last year it was at Wells Branch and then this year it was at Cat Hollow. So basically the reason why you made the switch was to accommodate the growth. Is that right?
That's definitely part of it. I will say we really wanted to go back to Wells Branch this year. It's really just such a special place. Anybody from any level can walk on at Wells Branch and have a really fun, great time. Not that we didn't at Cat Hollow, but some of these 18-hole courses in the Austin area can be a little bit intimidating. So Wells is a really great centralized place. Shout out to Brian Litke for everything that he does over there at Wells Branch. But there were a couple of things moving. Wells has a ton of events every year. So the Mud looks at them very closely, even though they were very supportive of our event last year and this year as well. And then there was some new construction that was going on there that was going to make parking and, getting a group of that size together just a little bit of a headache at this time. So we went ahead and made the decision to switch over to Cat Hollow. The Brushy Creek Mud was super supportive of everything that we've done. It was a really easy process to get the insurance and everything that we needed in place. And I think it turned out to be a really great and, a really competitive tournament for being a, non-sanctioned and a charity tournament. We had a lot of guys come out and really play great golf.
Yeah, I noticed that whenever you opened up registration, it filled really quickly, which is just fantastic. I know that for me, I play so many PGA rated sanctioned events, and they're always, just kind of serious and, a little bit, just a little bit different of an atmosphere. So I got to play with some people who I don't usually get to play with. And it was really nice to go out there and really just have fun playing disc golf and knowing that we were playing for a good cause, which was fantastic. How many players were there total?
So all said and done, we came in at 67 total players. We did have a few people, of course, with Corona being what it is, we had a couple of people make the right choice that they may have been exposed. And so we had some same day pullouts. I will also say a testament to the community. We had a group of 4 that drove 2.5 hours just to see if they had an opportunity to get in. They did. So, they came, they showed up, they bought in raffle tickets, they donated some stuff to our raffle itself. But we had 67 players. We have raised so far just a little bit under $1,100 this year. And we're super proud of that. That money is going to Operation Supply Drop, which is our local charity nonprofit. It's run by Glenn Banton out of Dripping Springs, who just does more for our local veterans than, almost anybody could ever ask of someone to do. So we are still raising a little bit of money. I'm hoping to get that 1,100 up over 1,200. So we are still selling some of the shirts that we have, and we do still have some of these really awesome clear, Opto Sapphires. That are our fundraiser discs. So you can check it out on Facebook, reach out in any way. And we're still trying to get up over that $1,200 mark. So still doing a little bit of fundraising before we get that money over to Glenn.
Okay. Well, it is definitely good to know that there are still opportunities to donate to that cause for sure. And I cannot wait to see, where this keeps going and how it keeps going in the years to come. So, thank you so much for your time coming on the show and sharing a little bit of this information. I know I've learned a lot, listening to you and hearing from you. So I guess, do you have any sponsors you want to shout out? Any kind of last minute tidbits you want to add in there?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank all of our sponsors for the Veterans for Vets, obviously presented by Dynamic Discs. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do this at all. We had two major sponsors in Played Again Sports Lakeline, who donated a lot for our raffle and did a lot for us day of, and the Auberge at Cedar Park, which is a memory care and assisted living. They donated a number of entries for our veterans that were able to play, so we were very thankful for them. This is something that we're going to continue trying to do. I would like to be able to run at least 2 more tournaments this year. I'm hoping to get one sanctioned, and then I'd like to do another charity tournament. So you can always find us. We're in almost all of the Facebook groups, but check me out on Facebook. It's Ryan Hampton, or check out our page. It's called Flights and Fights TV. And we're just so thankful to be able to have this platform. And, you know, we love you guys. We love the Austin area disc golf, and we're excited to continue to see how it grows.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, Ryan. I really appreciate your time, and we will catch up soon.
Thanks, Chrissy. Thanks for everybody for having me. Y'all have a great night.
Thanks, Ryan. Peace.
All right, you guys, moving on. As you know, we had a big weekend in the Houston area. Miss Meredith Geary just headed up the most fantastic disc golf clinic that I have ever been a part of, ever seen or heard about or anything. So major hats off to Meredith. So I can't wait to pass it on to her to hear a little bit more about that. And she has a special guest that she's going to be bringing on as well. So Meredith, take it away.
Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you so much. It blows my mind, honestly, how well it went. And so I want to give a shout out to you, Chrissy. We have Shannon Pendergrass, Shannon Barker, Haley Trevina, Casey Pennington, Stephanie Vincent, Andy Young, Renee Barr, and Nikki Wyatt. And I believe I got everyone that really came out and taught everyone. And then I have tonight as a special guest, because I have to give this shout out, because guys, like, oh yeah, y'all want to give me props. All these women made me look so good. So Erin is my right-hand man, okay? She's a gymnastic coach. She is with us tonight, and she put like my vision on paper, and it made it even better. And she had the brilliant idea of like Zoom meetings to come together, and so that we all felt, you know, more confident going into Saturday, which made it for a very smooth event. So I want to introduce to you Erin Weaver. She is a dear disc golf friend of mine, and thank you for coming on tonight and being with us. Are you there?
I'm so excited. Yeah, I mean, hi. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to be here. Yes, thank you, Mayor.
Yes, thank you so much, Erin, for all you've done. Like once you put that together in Google Documents, which, by the way, as you know, now we can share this, and we already have women from all around the nation asking, hey, what'd you do? And what do I get to do? I get to copy and paste this Google Doc that you did. And thank you for that. Like, seriously. Yeah. But I want to get your thoughts and, recap of the weekend.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed getting to watch everything come together. Like you said, my background is in gymnastics. So I've been coaching gymnastics at Cypress Academy for over 15 years. I was a director of their pre-team program. So doing competitions and clinics and stuff like that is definitely something that I'm very familiar with. So when Meredith came over and was like, you want to do this clinic? And she started talking, I'm like, okay, so who's going to do it? And what's our station going to be? And what are we going to do next? And how long this? And I was like, so we just put it all together. And I'm so glad and happy to see, it was awesome. It was totally awesome. We had a great turnout. So you can't ask for more than that. Yeah.
So many times I sat at her kitchen table with my brain just going everywhere, and I'm having so many different conversations, and she would be like honing me in and, helping me focus. And really, Erin, thank you so much. And you got to benefit from it as well, going through this
Yes,
session.
I got to be a part of it too. That was the coolest thing, because like I said, I'm very new to the disc golf community. I've been playing for a while, and then after having kids, kind of out of the scene a little bit. So I joined Chasing Chains literally last year, and it has been so awesome to be a part of the community and and meet new friends and be a part of the game and learn more about all the sponsors. And I mean, there's so many awesome sponsors and organizations out there for sure. So That's been
Right.
really awesome for me to see.
I love it. I'm so glad that you plugged in right away and you're willing to help me, and that you got to get a lot out of it as well. And you got a day away. So thank you so much for all that you've done. Please, do you have any shout outs that you want to give?
Yes, because I definitely want to say I learned so much from all the girls out there. Like I could say, hey, this station, but they plugged in so good with all the tips and tricks, and they were out there with everybody of all different levels. That was the coolest thing. There were so many new women out there that I've never played before. You know, people out there that have played and want to just get a little bit better, and some people that are really good and just trying to, get some extra tips and ways to get better scores and whatnot. So, I mean, I really appreciated everything from Mary, you giving me the opportunity to even be a part of this in the first place. All the girls that came out from Austin, the Chicks Chasing Chains, of course, Winwood for like closing the course down and like letting us have like, wow. And my husband for watching my children so I could be a part of this and get out on a Saturday. Yeah, for sure. I'm so glad. Like, I can't wait to do more of these. Absolutely.
Right. And she says that.
Sure.
With that being said, there's interest. And so I'd like to do one, later down south. We want to take one to Austin, to Waco.
Yeah.
We'll work around these big tournaments, but so it's not the end. It's not the end. It's only the beginning.
No.
Thank you, Erin.
We had people. Yeah, we had people in
thank
Hawaii.
You guys.
Asking.
Yeah.
I like
and thank you for the show.
Erin, we're going to Hawaii.
I like that. That sounds great. Good one, Christy.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. You have a good night, Erin. I love you.
All right. Thank y'all. Bye.
Thanks, Erin.
Yay. Man,
I'm like, oh, Meredith, but no, really, I had such a great team. The team is what made it, and it was a great event. Thank y'all for showing up and for supporting us and filming us. And Chris, oh my gosh, you blew our mind with that video. So thank y'all.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, Chris.
It's stunning and it's breathtaking, and if you're not in tears by the end of it,
And I don't know. I have speechless. It was so beautiful.
It was. Thank you, Chris.
Wow, that's funny.
Yes.
It's not funny. It's ironic.
I brought you to tears because that just, it did, and for good reasons. And a wonderful event. I was stunned the moment that I pulled into the parking lot, and my mouth has dropped to the floor to see the participation. So incredible. But in the midst of all this whole weekend, so many things have happened. We didn't even get to mention, I didn't even get to bring the award that we all won, that we finally got, that I'm going to have to bring back and put up here. And we'll have to have that for next weekend, because not only did we're the small part of being able to this wonderful event, but Dave has a keen eye sometimes for things when he gets to these places, whether it's a layout, a hole, a person, an event. Something happens on the way, as you heard earlier about his story with Tori, the most beautiful, wonderful dog you could ever meet. But he also kind of led me down the rabbit hole when I first got there. I'm waiting for this beautiful event. I'm thinking, this is great. I step out the car, and the first thing I hear out of David's mouth is, man, you got to hear the story about a parrot. And I'm thinking to myself, that's not the first thing I'm thinking about when I get there, and that's not what I'm going to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and not ruin it any further, but I'm going to leave David to the rest of the story, because it was quite amazing. I felt like I was going down a rabbit hole, and by the time we got finished, it felt like I went down the rabbit hole with Alice in Wonderland. My wife looked at me like, really?
That was the first picture I took.
Yeah.
That's the only picture I took was of the bird.
Yeah.
Well, we got enough for you anyway. But before I do turn over, now that I'm not as emotional, that was incredible this weekend. I was touched to see Meredith. It was just awesome. So congrats, ladies. Look forward to doing a whole lot more.
Yeah. Congrats, ladies, on your approach to learning the game, and the humility that it takes to really get good at it, because that's what impressed me. Because, no offense, guys, but first of all, there wouldn't have been that many guys there just to show up and try to learn something, because we already know how to do it.
I'm found out I didn't go through that stage.
So I'm impressed with that approach to the game, and I take it with me. I was out practicing today, and I was really trying to think about the technical aspects of it and not just the score. In fact, after a few holes, I quit keeping score. I was like, I need to really learn how to play this game, and that's what I saw out there. It was impressive.
And we're going to have more to come, because I took a lot of inside the rope footage as well, listening to the ladies describe to the players what needed to be done firsthand. And I know it was a lot of information, so this hopefully will give y'all the opportunity to go back and look at what the ladies had expressed to y'all and shown y'all in those days, because I can tell you that I learned as well. There was no way that you could not learn. And we also, how I love those tree hits. While we didn't have a literal tree hit, Chrissy has a explanation to a shot that she likes to perform that is literally, it's as funny as someone hitting a tree. So look forward to that, because I'll be pulling that one out. And I know you know what I'm talking about too, don't you, Chrissy? Shake your head like this. Something about your husband understands something about the sleeping and how legs work. And yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about that. So that's what I want to say to David. We have some more footage we'll be putting out.
Okay. All right. The teaser. All right. The teaser.
There's a point, and there's a good I swear they're in, y'all.
All right. Sorry, go ahead, Dave. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, because that was funny.
Before I get to the parrot story, I want to backtrack about the Austin thing, and because she was talking. And first of all, thanks Ryan Hampton for doing that and supporting the vets.
Here.
And
yes.
and also Doug Bjerkes, who I guess it was his concept, and Dynamic Disc, great guy, great tournament director. Thank you all for doing what you do with the vets. He talked about the Austin courses can be intimidating. They are, and Chris knows that I'm trying to get putter courses, family oriented, shorter courses going, and you get to Austin, and even like Seawright, which is considered like the little shorty course. That's a hard course, especially when you're coming from here. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that, because if you're out there and you're a course designer, think about putters, think about little kids, think about moms and old ladies and old men and people that can't handle these giant pro courses, and that's we need more part twos like that.
I think just to interject a little bit though, Austin.
Yeah, you're absolutely right that Austin does have its fair share of extremely difficult courses. But Ryan made a good point when he was speaking about Wells Branch, that it's definitely a course that a newbie can walk onto and not feel like just giving up after the first hole. So that is a really great course that we have. Hats off to Wells Branch. Wells Branch has a fantastic community of disc golfers who are part of the Wells Branch Disc Golf Club, headed up by Brian Litke, who Ryan mentioned. And like you said, they do so many events. And like this year we had the first annual, or last year, 2020 was the first annual Wells Branch Women's Open. And that was a really cool event because it had so many new players in it, because it was at a course that was friendly for women, female players. And that one was really cool because myself and Stephanie and Renee of Mint Discs, we got to run a clinic during that tournament. And then we also had the Flying Armadillo down in San Marcos, which is about a 45-minute trek from Austin, but that's really not that bad. And it is, in every sense of the words, a par 2 course. But it's like a miniature, it's like a mini golf course. They have all these cool, windmill obstacles and stuff that you have to throw around. And that's a really great place too. So we do have our fair share of hard courses, but there's a couple of real fun family oriented courses spread in there every so often.
That's great. And in fact, that Flying Armadillo, even though we haven't been there, we know about it, and we've studied it, and we know what it's all about. And that's kind of what we're working with Tim Martin over at Woods Edge Church, and he's all up for it. So we're gonna trick that one out and make it into a part 2, and hopefully with some fun holes like they have at Armadillo. But yeah, that's kind of our goal. We want to seed a couple of courses like that, because when we're
I'm also jealous that
no, go ahead.
you guys have Frisco.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a good huck for us. That's an hour drive for us. But true, we do have it. It's Alvin. We love that course. One of my favorites, especially at night. Did you guys get to play? Did you get over there this weekend?
Well, my folks live in Alvin.
My parents live in Alvin, which is really cool. Unfortunately, it's still so new that it's still kind of getting its roots, like in the literal sense of the word. It tends to get really muddy whenever it's rained a little bit, because the grass is still trying to seed out there and take hold. So unfortunately, we didn't get to make the trek out there this weekend, but I have played it once under the lights, and it was it was like in the top 5 most fun rounds of disc golf that I've ever played. So every chance that we can get, we always go out there for sure.
Yeah, shout out to your dad. I had a very good conversation with him. Had a very nice, fun talk. Man knows some baseball, that's for sure. We've been to the same places at the same time. It was quite entertaining. That's true.
It was so cool to have my dad out there. I think it opened his eyes a little bit to just the places that disc golf are going and how much interest there really is in it. So I was super excited that he came. So thanks, Dad.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad.
All right, so
Hey,
Dallas.
we have Christiana. I'm not sure if I said your
Christiani.
name right. The mom, Christiani. Okay.
Yeah.
She is the owner of the Bird, but besides the Bird, she says she made a comment on Greytown in Elmendorf is a awesome course for beginners and women. It's her favorite, and then she mentions that Flying Armadillo as well.
Elmendorf, yeah. Okay, yeah. So I get out of my van. Had to warm up a little bit. It was a little chilly at first. I was like warming up, and I got out, and there was this thing flying around. This yellow blur that kept going around, and that turned out to be Pele, and the parrot, and Christiani's parrot, and her husband Joe Hamlin. They're from Gonzales, so they made the drive all the way from Gonzales for this clinic. It was really cool. So once I saw that happen, I went on film. I got him on film, and it's cool because the video looks like they're trying to get a disc, because they got all the disc tools. And it's yellow, and you can kind of see it. And they eventually, she throws him, she Jedis this instrument to him, and he catches it. He's like 30 feet up in the air, and he catches it, and that whatever that was, the little perch, the bird knew, like a little stick or something. I'm not sure what that was. And then the way they were talking to him, this is how we met, really. The way they were talking to this bird was like, and I even asked her, I said, that bird's kind of an asshole. I'm sorry, excuse my language. But, and she said, yes. She said he is a very cocky animal. And she said he thinks he's bigger than he is. So anyway, we had a good talk about Pele the parrot. And then come to find out, obvious accent, and Chris
She
and I.
went from Texas.
No, she wasn't from around here.
Wasn't from around here.
So we got to talk
Yankee.
to her, and turns out she is the prototype of what I've been talking about. People are in this sport because of COVID. And her husband Joe used to play, and he had like some discs, and he said, let's go play. And she got hooked, and it was pretty much almost a year ago. And they got hooked, and now she's playing and doing, clinics and driving.
Well, tell the rest of the story, because now you have that whole interview. I
Okay.
want you to go over the whole
Okay.
thing. So.
No, we have it on video.
Matt, you about ready to run that?
Yeah.
Yes, because that was quite a story. So get ready, folks.
Cool.
And you are live.
Hey, we're here with Christiani, Hamlin, and just talking with her. This all started with a parrot getting loose in the parking lot named Pele. And so I started filming it, and then I realized that this parrot is probably kind of a jerk, I'm assuming, and it turns out I was right.
That is my baby.
We have just
also
my wife just got a Chihuahua, so I kind of know that
that personality.
that personality. Yeah, very lots of willpower. But
He thinks he's so much bigger than he is. He like it. We used to have a horse, and I go to give a carrot to the horse, and the horse comes to sniff him, he bites the horse. He doesn't know his size. He's this big, he thinks he's a giant.
that's hilarious. Well, what got you into disc golf? How did you discover disc?
Not too long. Yes,
I can edit that out.
you can edit.
Yeah.
So, wasn't too long ago, we moved from California to Gonzales, Texas, for my husband's work. And we discovered they had a disc golf park very close to our house. And he's like, let's go play disc golf. I was like, what is that? I didn't even know what it was. And he had like probably 3 discs, like old time discs that he played once in a while, and he's like way back. And then we went to the course and we two play with his 3 discs and play a little bit. Then he goes to work and he starts to talk to one of his friends and one of his co-workers. And his co-worker was like, you play disc golf? And he's like, yeah, I have 3 discs. So they arranged to go play with him, and he comes with his bag with a bunch of discs, and you're like, wow, this is serious.
And look now.
Yeah.
Look at now, my bag with all kinds of. But then we got so hooked. We started to play more when the pandemic hit, because before we were playing once in a while, like once a month maybe. But then when the pandemic starts, was one of the only things you could do outdoors, because you couldn't go to the gym, you couldn't go, other sports, you couldn't do anything. So we start to play at least once a week. And now we have a disc golf course in our backyard. We have an online store. We are collecting this, and we are trying to take the disc golf to Brazil. That's where I'm from. And they have like one course in Brazil with 18 holes, and they have one, I think, 9-hole course, but they don't have like the sports unknown there. So that's our main goal, is to make sure this golf goes to Brazil. Make it big there.
Well, hey, my question is, I know I heard you talking about Muay Thai and that you're an instructor in
Yes.
that. As well as dance, and you said you worked with some elderly people. That's exciting to me, and that you want to bring them into the disc golf world, and because they will follow you. You said
this is one of the things. I have a big follower at my community where I live. And everything that I do, they think so cool. Maybe it's because I'm different, because I'm the only Brazilian in Gonzales. And they're like, oh, this girl is different. She comes here. I kind of like change the mentality of the gym, and then I bring dance to the classes, like Latin dance usually. And they love it because it's something completely different they never did before. And they saw on my Facebook that I started to play disc golf, and they're like, can we learn disc golf too? And I was like, sure, I can take you guys, because I think disc golf doesn't have doesn't discriminate against anybody. You can be young, old, fat, skinny, in shape, out of shape. Even if you have some disabilities, you can play disc golf in any age, and you don't think you are working out because it's not a very a hard workout, but you are walking a lot, and this makes you get back in shape. And
it gets you in nature.
Yes,
because I quit. I retired kind of for a while, and I missed the parks. Just the walks. Is what I missed.
And now you're walking with a purpose.
Exactly.
Because you're playing this. So I think is a very good way to, if you want to get back in shape, you start to walk and you start to play, you don't even realize, like maybe a month later, you're not out of breath anymore. You're getting back in shape little by little, and you can do so much more after that, because it's much better than stay laying the couch eating potato chips in your house.
Which is not bad. But it doesn't do much for your body.
Yeah.
No.
That should be only done once in a while.
Yeah.
Those are just a pleasure.
Yeah. all
After you
things-
play this golf,
Right.
you
It's
can
okay
go
to have a
home.
little bit of a pleasure, but not all the time.
I think after I play a round of disc golf, sometimes 2 rounds, we can go home and lay on the couch, drink some beer, and eat some potato chips.
Yeah. Yeah. You've got to earn those times on the couch.
Those treats.
So, like you said, something that kind of made me think about. You were talking about. I said that you're their guru. These guru. Do you have a guru? Do you have a practice? Do you have a meditation practice? I know Muay Thai is very serious meditational kind of.
To me, I think some things from the martial arts I can bring to the disc golf. Like especially today I learned some forehand, and she was trying to say about the baseball, how you play the baseball, but I never played baseball. So I was thinking, she said keep your body kind of small,
Your core tense, yeah.
Your core tense. And I was thinking about martial arts, and I was thinking it's kind of like uppercut to the body. So you're going
Yeah, 'cause you're
straight
using your hip.
because you're using your hip. You're using your
Turning that foot, you're
toes.
turning your foot in, also to make sure you're on the ball of your toes. Correct.
So I think martial arts is something that I can bring to the disc golf, and the dance too, because like the grapevine that you do before you throw.
Yeah, right.
But I don't have like any on the disc golf. I don't have any gurus, anybody that I follow. We have a friend, he's a close friend to us. He used to be a professional disc golfer, but he's coming back now. I don't know if you guys heard of him. He's Mark McAllister is his name.
Yeah, I
He's
know
coming
that.
back, and he'll probably be on the top again. So he gave me some tips, and he came staying in our house for a few days. And I think now, like I listen a lot to what he told me. So he's kind of like my guru. And I think when I go putting, I was like, he said, don't spill the beans. You have a plate of these, don't spill the beans. So I try to do.
Good one. I like that. Don't spill the beans.
So I try like not to, because I always go higher, and I try like to go straight and so
Keep it flat. In other
keep it
words.
flat. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
But you have to think of something. If you tell me keep it flat, I'm thinking I'm throwing flat, and my disc is going high. But when I think of the beans, I was like, oh yeah, I have to be careful. So he's probably my guru right now.
Uh-huh.
But I'm learning. Like I'm just like I think in the beginning. I have been playing constantly like about a year. But I think every day I learn something new. And
Well, it's great. It's wonderful. Skyrocketing, and I see people all the time on my home course that I know. I can just tell they've never, played. They're just now experiencing it. So, welcome to disc golf.
Yes.
All I can say. And it's really
Thank you
nice
so
meeting,
much.
somebody like you, and a bright and shining person. Thank you.
Yes, love it.
I
Thanks for
feel
spending some
that.
time with us.
Thank you, and I feel like the community, the disc golf community is so welcoming, and everybody's so nice. I never heard anybody, like if I ask something, nobody ever like say or give some like the shoulder or try to figure it out yourself. No, everybody that I ask something help me with. I have a problem to find my discs when I throw. I can't find
Chris has that problem all the time.
You're very similar.
That's great.
I have to play with people that are willing to help me.
The younger kids are better because they can find it quickly for me.
Yes, exactly. So, but I feel that the disc golf community is so welcoming, and that's why I feel I want to spread as much as I can, help to spread to the world.
All right.
All right.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you,
We can't
guys.
wait to work with you.
Yeah, we're gonna come.
We're
play.
gonna be-
come play
Your backyard. We're gonna play your house.
Yeah.
You know, Gonzales was a side of a Texas battle, and you probably know.
Oh, I know about it.
Yeah. So I've never played it. So we need to go.
Well, thank y'all, folks. That's awesome.
Thank you.
You bet.
Go Wings,
Peace.
Tahoe.
Now you see what I mean. What an incredible interview. What an incredible way to walk into an event, and an incredible person as well. The things that she does for the seniors, I was blown away with. I cannot tell you how many times I teared up while I was at this event, from the beginning to the middle to the end. That story was impressive, and just the people we were afforded to meet is amazing, David. Great interview, great time. Well done, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, it was fun. I was look forward to going to Brazil.
Oh,
and,
yes.
Helping them seed some courses. They only have two. She said 2 courses in Brazil. The whole country.
That's what she said.
We can put some courses in there.
We can help her out. That's for sure.
Great, good job, Meredith. Thank you so
Had a
much
blast.
for doing this thing, and Aaron, thanks, Chrissy, and oh my God,
The whole team.
So
Yep.
so
Matt,
yeah,
Christopher,
Yeah.
our
so
wives,
much
our
to be thankful
husbands.
for. Yeah. Well,
Tori, thank you for coming back. I'd have been heartbroken. David I'd been rushing out there to go help him look.
yeah, and Pele,
Yeah.
thanks for coming back too and not getting stuck on that tree. I
Maybe
was
he knew
worried
he
about
needed
him.
to go around you because he needed that force to bring y'all together. Maybe that's what it was. Pele was over there going, you know what? If I go flying around that man right there in that white van, he's going to come over here and magic is going to happen.
Hey.
Yep.
I like that.
Well, anyway, folks, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Until next time, y'all have a wonderful night.
Yeah. Don't forget, play disc golf.
Play disc golf.
Disc golf.
Peace.